Hello and welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be having a look at F1 2016, going to be competing in the first race of the career mode, and I asked you guys to vote for what team you wanted to see me starting on Twitter, and it was McLaren. So that is where I'm going to be beginning with. Now, this game, unlike 2015, when you do the career mode, you actually create a driver, which is always nice to have your own sort of customized driver to go through the career and upgrade a team's car or swap teams and so on. So yeah, we're going to jump in and head to the first practice session at the Australian Grand Prix. There are heaps of new features. I'm kind of hoping it's not raining. Fingers crossed it is not raining. I am not particularly amazing when it comes to the wet weather stuff. Okay, it is not raining. That is good. Yeah, lots and lots of new features. I will start though by saying that I'm not that amazing at this game yet. I struggle to get the most out of Formula 1 car. I can drive the car cleanly, but I struggle to get the most out of a car that has such a huge amount of downforce and a huge amount of grip. I'm more used to driving sort of Clio Cup cars, that sort of stuff I tend to race on Forza, stuff I have most fun racing with, and this I'm not so used to, and yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. So we shall see how we do. I got on the internet and found a car setup that I like for Australia. I'll put a link in the description so you can have a go with it with yourself. But I'm hoping it's going to be enough to at least make me competitive in this. I've got the career difficulty or on the expert AI difficulty. There are two higher difficulties. This game can get bloody tough. If you're good at it, there is plenty of challenge out there for you. Anyway, practice session. Yes, we shall get into this. So there are these new practice programs that you can choose from. Essentially, mini games to do during the practice session, and they award you resource points. Resource points can be spent upgrading your car in between races, so you can, make a McLaren into a front-running team. Oh, we're not quite in the right camera setting. There we go. That's what we want. Right. And now we head out. So this first one, the track acclimatization, is quite a nice and neat. I went for saying that and said both words at the same time. A neat little way of teaching you a track. As we come across the line, the program will start. It'll lay out these little gates for you to aim for, and you hit them. Provided you hit them fast enough, you will get a sort of purple icon. If you hit the gates cleanly but you're not quite going quick enough, you'll get green. And you fail to hit them, you'll get red, and the idea is to score enough points over the course of a lap. So I think we've got to get, 475 is getting a perfect a perfect score, and that'll be enough to give you all 50 of the resource points. Now, you don't have to get purple on all of the gates to get 475. I think you can get away with a couple of them to be green, and you will still be alright to score the points. This run is actually going relatively well. Get the car slowed for there. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I have done a fair bit of practice at the Australian Grand Prix circuit just so I kind of know what I'm doing, so I can at least do the game a little bit of justice. Oh, although I'm very, very wrong through there. Yeah, I knew I'd cocked up on the way in. That's annoying. I was so hoping I could do it perfect first time, but that was not to be the case. Being smooth with the cars is so critical on this game. It is absolutely fundamental. Trying to keep the vehicle off the curb. Oh, had a big lock-up as well. I have, in terms of assists, while I'm still learning this game, I have got traction control on medium. I know from my normal want of turning everything off, goes a little bit against it. I kind of have had to, because I'm struggling to learn everything all at once. I'm sure I will. Once I've got the hang of being able to take some speed, I will turn that off. And yeah, it's just so that I can kind of learn what I'm doing a little bit easier on here. Oh, we're going to have traffic now, and that's going to be a real pain. And I've locked the brakes up a little bit more. I have got ABS off, as you can see by the locking up of the brakes from time to time. Right. Okay, now Bottas is actually going to be going quickly and won't get in my way. That would be quite nice. Or maybe I'll just cock up the laps some more, and it won't matter. Oh, there we go. We're fine. we're okay. Even with the traction control on medium, you will still see the car moving about a fair amount. These are quite, because they've got such a huge amount of torque, they are quite oversteery vehicles. They're happy to slide about all over the place. It's something to very much watch out for. And speaking of the engines, the torque and so on, I have found, whether it'll help you guys go faster, I don't know, but I've found personally, if I come out of the corners in perhaps higher gears than I would normally, fourth gear, certainly around here, a lot of these corners, fourth gear, good gear for exiting these corners. You can get a fair bit of lap time from that. It has really helped me in terms of improving my lap time, just getting that little bit more, little bit better launch out of the turns, and helps with slightly minimising wheel spin. I did a short shift there by accident without meaning to, panicked when I started sliding. There we go. That's not too bad. A run, I think that might have been, was that all purple? Yes, it was. 525 out of 525. I will take that. Actually, not a bad lap time either. On medium tyres, 32.5. Not too displeased with that in terms of pace. On a good lap with super softs, I have got into the low 29s, I think, with the Mclaren. And this is in, this isn't in time trial mode. This is in, actual qualifying. So I'm hoping I can potentially put up a half decent fight when it comes to this race. So that practice program there has been completed. Didn't take me all 3 laps, but I got the resource points, which will mean another 50 to spend when it comes to upgrading the car. So that's one of the mini games that you can do. I got DRS activated within 0.01, I assume, of the starting position, so that's sort of spot on. Couldn't have done that one much better, really. Right, tyre management. Let's have a look at this. We'll go with a set of soft tyres. Now, this does give you an option for which tyres to run on. Now, I assume that this scales, so if you run, super soft, well, they're going to wear a little bit more than the soft tyres, so I'm assuming it scales. We're going to go with the soft tyres. And yeah, have a go at this. Again, it's another sort of mini game, but it encourages you to do more practice laps, and I think that's a good thing, to familiarise yourself more with a circuit and to give you goals, so it's not just simple hot lapping. Right, this will ask you to do a set lap time. Now, I am hoping that we should be able to do that no problem while keeping... Oh, completely butchered that second to last corner. I'm hoping I should be okay to do the target lap time. We'll see what it is. If it's asking me to do like a 29, we might be in trouble. But it is asking a 33.0. I was doing that with the medium tyre, so we should be more than okay. There we go, around the turn 1. You can see the bar going on at the top there. Oh, I'm busy looking and not changing gear. That is my stupid right there. Apologise for that one. So if you start sliding the car around, start asking the car to do stupid stuff, the tyres will go more towards the red. You see there as I'm bouncing across the curve. I'll say I did that deliberately, sure. If you go bouncing across the curves, spin up the wheels and so on, the tyres will go more towards the red area. You want to try and keep it in the purple area, but of course you can't just cruise your way around. You have actually got to be going relatively quickly. This lap has actually all gone horribly wrong. I think I put a wheel on the... Yeah, I think I might have the outside wheel just ever so slightly on the grass when I went on the brakes. This is going to be a little bit more difficult now. While tyre wear I'm okay on, I have actually now got to worry about lap time. We were doing relatively well. Let's stick that on Rich for these final few corners. See if we can get back that time that we lost through there. Oh no, it's all not going particularly well here. Okay, we might still be good. We might still be okay. Come on, McLaren. You can do this, or I can do this more like I know I'm capable of. But there we go. Tyre wear I'm good on. Tyre wear's not a problem for this lap. It's all about the speed. Didn't open the DRS amazingly quickly that time around. Okay, we're fine. Only just though. Right, put that back onto normal. Oh god, now we've got traffic to be worrying about. Oh god, big moments of oversteer. Once more, get that DRS open again. There's a lot to think about. There is a lot to think about on this game, and because there's so much sort of information thrown at you, there is, well, even more than ever. But that's kind of a good thing. That's what Formula 1 cars are these days. There's a lot goes on in them a lot of technology, a lot of different systems and whatnot. I kind of like all of the information just being thrown at you. You can see in the top right-hand side, and Magnus is going to be right in the way here. Top right-hand side, we have all of the target lap time, and it's got a pretty much live. I'm trying to think, sort of split time. It's really difficult trying to look at other stuff and then drive a live split time going on, so you can see what corner perhaps you're losing time on or making time up, etc. On the actual digital display on the steering wheel, every time you go through a sector, you will see a split time as well. So there's plenty of places to keep check of your speed. This lap is a lot more comfortable in terms of pace, and we're still doing a good job of keeping the tyres in a decent condition, which is always important as we round this final turn. Yeah, a little bit more comfortable this time around. What was that, 31.9? Yeah, I'm relatively okay with setting that pace with this, although I've not quite got the... I am better than I was when I started playing this game on Friday, but yeah, still not an expert. Now, with these practice programs, once you've completed them, okay, so the track acclimatization, there's not a huge amount of data, but these ones here, you can actually see how, as the tyre wear goes down, sort of how your lap times are doing. I was relatively consistent, even with the tyre wear. We managed to, over the 4 laps, about 84-ish, 83% tyre wear. Pretty much our lap times were pretty consistent in the, well, high 31s, low 32s. I had a little scare on the opening lap, a little bit scruffy, but it worked out. And again, I like all of the data that can be thrown up at you. Now, you don't have to do all of these sessions in the first practice one. These can be done at any point during the 3 sessions, and you can come back to redo them. You know, if you fail or if you want to improve your score, you can come back and redo them at any time. We are going to end this first practice session. You've got all of your general information. You've got the overview. You've got a nice little track map, so that you know, if you are going to be playing it with sort of manually going out, and you can find yourself space on the track, you know, by using the map. You've got your overviews of the times. You can see how you're doing sort of sector-wise. How am I doing against the other Mclaren? Where is... a button hasn't been out yet, so that's of no real use to me. Live feed, you can go and watch the AIs driving themselves around, and the Mercedes and McLaren are almost coming together there. And then we will end P1. I think a fairly successful practice session. I ended up 15th, ahead of my teammate. Always good. Always useful to be ahead of your teammate. I think there's a little bit more time to be found, certainly, with the car. Right, we shall advance. And in between sessions, you will head back to the kind of garage area, sort of the hospitality area. It's probably the best place to call it, and then you can access the laptop. And now we can have a look at the resource points system. So, as you complete the programs, as you complete each session, you get some points. The programs got me 50 each. We did 6 laps, up to a maximum of 10 bonus points. We only did 6, but we got some points in there. The team objectives, we got 3 of them done, which gave us another 15. We get a bonus amount to start with, essentially. And career booster, I think that's for the difficulty that you have it set on. You get bonus ones for completing it at various difficulties. So 732 to spend, and then an engineer is going to want to come and have a talk with us. So once more, it is to the laptop, and you have 5 different categories that you can upgrade. You can see the comparison in terms of vehicle performance, which is quite nice. We have it's just over 700 points, 732 to be starting with, and I'm figuring McLaren. Well, McLaren's biggest sort of drawback is lack of power, lack of straight line speed. So engine power is a good thing to upgrade. You can also see the sort of the differences it makes in terms of performance, which sort of upgrade you select. So this one here, the fuel efficiency one is cheaper, but you know, smaller upgrade. Now we could go for fuel efficiency and drag reduction, but I'm thinking definitely we're going to want power. Now it will take a little time for those to be built, for those to be added to the car. I think it'll probably be in the next race that they get added on to. But yeah, you got your sort of your normal stuff. So engine power, fuel efficiency, so you can perhaps get away with running in richer fuel modes for longer. Chassis weight, so your handling downforce. Again, your handling and drag reduction will help with better sort of straight line speed and so on. Right, I'm going to head to through the next sort of couple of practice sessions, and you'll probably rejoin me at qualifying. Right, well, it is qualifying time, and, well, it's still dry, at least. There was always a little bit of a concern. I think what I'm going to do with this session, we're going to start off we'll do sort of a run on the soft tyres. See, I doubt I'm going to be able to get through. I'm quick enough to really be able to get through all the soft tyres. I'll see what I can do on these once we commit to going out. So that means we're in under park fail making. As you can turn that off, I believe, if it's not if you want to be able to adjust setup throughout. I think you can, at least. Anyway, I might be thinking of a different Formula 1 game, but yeah. We can't change the setup, not that I'm going to be faffing about with that any. We're going to see, I'm hoping, I should be able to get through Q1. The expectation, like the team goals, if you like, for me are to qualify 30. I would like to think that I would be able to qualify 30. I'm going to be in trouble if I can't as such. Right, shall we stick the engine on rich? We may as well. Well, that has been a pretty good lap. I only just realised how fast I was going as we crossed the line. 30.7 on the soft. Well, that's going to be very close to being able to get through on that. I'm not sure it would be comfortably through. Let's have a look, shall we? How are we? We're sat in 9th place. We're 2.5 seconds down on the leaders. Said we're always going to be. However, we're not that far down off. So we're not that far. We're a second down. Position-wise, we're not that far off Button. Do I? I don't really think I want to be too stupid and risk it, considering Haryanto's a 31.6. Okay, it was worth a go. But I think we are going to have to probably go out again on the super softs, just to be on the safe side, just to make sure. Oh, bloody hell! Okay, another thing to be on the lookout for: traffic. The AI, especially in qualifying, are a absolute. I don't know where you're going to go. No. Okay, that is admittedly a fairly bad example. That is worse than the offered do drive. They do not get out of your way nicely. They do not get out of your way nicely whatsoever. I was hoping to do one lap on these, so they'd be good for this session and for the next session. Might not be the case. Yeah, they are. They can be quite dodgy. I think they are supposed to kind of get out of your way. If I just take a straight line, they will dive out of my way. But if they're not doing, okay, game, we're going to change gear. If they're not doing that until a little bit last minute, I've already committed to changing direction, and well, you see, we nearly end up in the back of a manor. We got away with it that time around, but it is quite easy to get into trouble with AI cars, especially when it comes to qualifying and you're trying to go for that one lap. Well, that didn't work. Let's try again, shall we? Alright, around to the final corner. I've got a couple of tenths of a second. It's okay, we're in 14th. We're into the 29s, a little bit safer. Not really ideal. We've only got a couple of minutes left in the session. I'm hoping that's going to be enough to get me through. It's going to be a nervous couple of minutes. I think once I got returned to the garage, though, it might be almost time. We're in 15th place. Bottas is playing it a little bit risky. We are, though, going to just squeak our way through. Yeah, I used sort of the best of my tyres and made a couple of little errors. Yeah, Bottas squeaked his way through. Oh, I think Haryanto, he got a penalty. Now, I don't know whether that was for something else. In fact, can we Incidents. Oh, wow, okay. I didn't know that. Well, there is some more information for you. The AI car that did do the blocking on me did get a grid penalty for it. That is quite cool. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah. That's really neat. Anyway, we have made it through to the next round of qualifying. I think I might struggle to get in the top 10. We shall give it a try, though. And it is very, very close, this sort of mid-table area. I think if we are going to get through this this stage of qualifying, we're probably going to need to be doing a low 28, a low 29, if I'm going to stand any chance of getting into the top 10. Now, the game wants me, like my objectives from the team is to, well, beat my teammates. I'm going to try and beat Button if I can and get 13th place. Might be doable. It'll be tough, I think, for me. May possibly be able to do that, especially if we can get this first lap good. That would be very nice indeed. So far, all is looking relatively well. Being neat and tidy, stayed off the curbs, and more importantly, stayed off the grass. The curbs are vicious around here. From my experiences, the curbs are absolutely horrendous for bouncing across them. This one here in particular, as I said, I have been struggling with that corner. This lap is going quite nicely. It feels nice and smooth. Whether it's actually going to be nice and quick, we will have to wait and see. Got to get this corner here right. Always a scary one. That is so fast through that. So great fun when you get it right, but don't always get it perfectly on there. This lap I'm pretty pleased with so far as we come towards these final couple of corners. Very important not to outbrake yourself down there. Little bounce on the curb. May have turned in a fraction too late, although it is quite nice and smooth around that final turn. Please be quick, because I'm not sure I'm going to do much better. That felt a lot faster than a 30. We need to find more speed. I really thought that was going to... See, that felt lovely and smooth, but it's just not fast enough. Oh, we gotta go. We're going across the grass, right? Bugger it. It's not going to be good enough. That's definitely not getting me out, and I think I'm pretty much done in terms of tyres. Tyre kind of management for these stages of qualifying quite important. You get, well, essentially 2 sets of super softs and 1 set of soft tyres. You've got the tyres reserved for Q3 if you can bloody get there, but I can't because I cocked it up. Of course, these ones here have all been given back during the practice sessions. Yeah, I know. I can't do anything more than that. Too slow. I'm pretty sure. Unless something amazingly drastic happens, we're already down into 11th. We're already out. We might beat our teammates. Maybe we could qualify. If I qualify 11th, I'll be very happy with that. There we go. Oh no, wait. We're still okay. Maybe that is these track conditions, or maybe I just got lucky. I'm thinking more of the to be fair, there is less than 2 tenths between 12th and 16th. I'm very happy with 12th position in that. I am exceedingly happy with 12th. So yeah, we completed our objectives amazingly despite a poor lap. It is on to race time now. It is a glorious sunny day for the race. That is always nice to see. The weather, of course, is very much dynamic. Can always change here, but does look like we will have a nice dry race. So let's take a look at, again, more new features, more options that you can go through. Race strategy is a big thing now. It's actually quite a nice... Okay, session forecast is slightly overcast. I'm good with that. I can deal with that. If we go into... so this is our standard strategy. You can go for a 2-stop race, although I'm doing a 25% distance race. So 2-stop, probably not worth it. You'll spend too long in the pits. And you can see its overall sort of expected finishing time, if we go edit strategy here, you can completely customize your strategy. So if you are, thinking, right, you might want to pit a little bit early because your tyres are very worn from qualifying, which mine are, you can come for an earlier stop. You can stick with the standard one. You can add in stints. You can add in, do you want perhaps a stint 2? Do you want to go for medium tyres? Now, I qualified 13th, which means I do get a free choice of tyre. I am thinking, do we start on a set of soft tyres? Do we go for a set of soft tyres, go 9 laps, maybe 10 laps into the race, and then swap to our super softs to finish it off quickly? It's a solid alternate strategy, and of course, because I'm outside the top 10, I am perfectly okay to do that. I think for me that might not be a bad idea. You see, the projected race time is half a second less, but it is all very, very close. So it's whether I can make the most of, running longer on the soft tyres, and then perhaps at the end I'll be on the super softs. I'll be able to fight better with the AIs. Possibly not a bad idea. And if my softs are starting to die by lap 10, we could come in a lap earlier and get the new tyres. I think we're going to go for that. I think we're going to go for the slight alternate strategy here. Fingers crossed it will work. And now we can go and do a formation lap. This is a new feature here. We can actually go and drive the. I forgot to put the car into first gear. That is my bad there. We can do our formation lap and warm the car up. You see, we've got our little display down at the bottom right that will tell us various temperatures. We can cycle through it. It can tell us all sorts. Oh, that's the wrong the wrong button. I'll change camera button. It'll tell us. Okay, I can't actually because on the formation lap it'll only show us temperatures. But so here you can, get your brakes up to temperature, get your tyres up to temperature, ready for the race. To me, will this make a huge difference? Probably not. I'm not fast enough to notice the tiny differences on the opening lap between, tyre and brake temperature. Is it a neat little feature to have and add a bit more to the game? Yeah, very much so. It's just something else that is added here, which is great. There is a safety car. Whether we're going to see the safety car here or not, I don't know. There's also the virtual safety car as well that can come up. Whether we're going to see this at all in this race, I don't know. In one of the practice races I did have the safety car come out. The AI will make mistakes, and one of the big things I often have with games that do have safety cars, like 90% of the time they'll only ever come out when it's the player that's either caused it or had the accident. The one safety car that I saw was just an AI crash on their own at turn 1. I've only done probably 3-4 races. I spent a lot of time kind of practicing. So, yeah, the AIs will make mistakes. How common it is, I don't know yet. But they will do it. The AI will make mistakes on their own, completely unprompted by the player. So, safety car and safety car strategies. Do you pitch and go for some different tyres under safety car, and all of that will come into play to make races a very, very interesting experience. Unfortunately, you don't actually get to go and line up on the line itself. You can't. You don't sort of do your burnouts towards the grid spot and so on. The game will take control of your car. Little bit of a shame, but there we go. Now it is almost time for the race itself. It's kind of a little bit of a manual start as well. You hold the gear up button, is essentially holding in the clutch. Find a good amount of revs, and then you go. Fingers crossed you don't kick it into anti-stall, and hopefully I can get away cleanly. Maybe make up some positions. After all of the practices, qualifying, I'm really hoping I don't throw this away at turn 1. We are off, and it's not too bad of a start from me. A great start from Hulkenberg. The 2 Force India is absolutely flying down towards this first corner. Oh, there's a little bit of a concertina trade effect going on here. I'm going to be sneaky. We're going to run out of road. Ooh. We've come out where we... No, not quite. We made 8th position in all of that. Oh, God. That was a little bit of a train through the opening corners. If I have one criticism of the AI here, they are not very good. That is a stupidly brave overtake around the outside of Bottas, but I will take it. Careful on the curves. The AIs are not very good in a large pack. If one of them gets slowed down, everyone constantly teeters up, and you can very easily scoot your way past a whole swathe of cars. Now, does that make my life a little bit easier? Possibly. And they do, you know, tend to avoid accidents and so on, but at times it is a little bit silly with the trains that they will get into. They don't really like kind of going out of line to try and get passes done and so on. So, yeah, you can often get big train of AI cars going quite slowly when they're all sort of blocked up behind one another. And even when, you know, that we're not talking about these large groups to start with, this is going to end really badly. Okay, no, Grosjean backed out of it. Thank you for that. Yeah, even when there's sort of just 2 or 3 cars, they can get stuck in a line and not really be overtaking one another, despite being, you know, clearly much faster. And, yeah, there's just perhaps a little bit less fighty than I would like to see in AIs. They also do, you saw with Grosjean, it is quite easy for me as a player to throw my car up the inside of someone and essentially make them get out of my way. Now, yeah, it is good that the AIs won't turn in on you. If you've got your car there, they will recognise where you are, but equally, I can make passes very easily just by sticking my nose somewhere. They can fight back. Sometimes you can have some good racing and you can get some good overtaking, but you can equally almost force them out of the way. Sainz is struggling for a little bit of pace here. Good news for me in terms of I'm now catching up to the back of Verstappen. This is what I was talking about. I've got much more pace when it comes to the race. I'm on the... Admittedly, these guys are on the tyres that they qualified with, but I'm on soft tyres, they're on super softs, and I've caught up to the back of Verstappen. We're going to go around the outside of 2 cars. I'm not sure how much space I was going to get given. And now that I've done that sort of big dive, Sainz backed out of it massively, has backed up the whole train back there, and I've now got a huge gap back to them. And I'm now chasing down Vettel. Not quite the car that I was expecting to be chasing down in a race, but there we go. Ooh, get slowed down, don't do anything dumb. We've got a long way to go in this race. I could do without doing anything dumb. Oh, we go. Surely we can't be having a look at getting past the Ferrari. DRS will be activated next time around, I think. Oh, I'm braking very early. I can get away with a little bit later braking. It's just trying to get used to such performance in these cars. There's such huge levels of performance in a Formula 1 car, and I am just not quite extracting the most. You will see a fair bit of me. I'm turning in too soon into corners, and it's just my brain is not quite prepared for the amount, even with all the practice that I've had on this game, just not quite prepared for what this car is actually capable of doing. We are really putting Vettel under pressure here. I'm quite surprised by this, considering the tyres and so on. We are really putting Vettel under some pressure, although that's going to relieve all of it. I think it's Raikkonen up ahead that's actually causing some issues for one of the Williams. I'm assuming it's Massa, because I think we've already got past Bottas and Ricciardo. So the Ferraris are struggling a little bit out here. Who's out in front? I can't tell. I don't know. That's some silly games to be playing on top of the curves, but never mind. Okay. Just relax. We're going to sit back into a rhythm. Now that we're going to do exactly the same thing to Vettel that we did to Grosjean. No, Vettel did actually turn in. I wasn't sticking. I probably could have forced him out wide, to be honest there, but that would have been a very cheeky manoeuvre that wasn't really necessary. Okay, around the final turn. Now we will have DRS on the Ferrari. Can I get a pass into turn 1? That Ferrari power is pretty damn good. We're going to give it a try though, and we are up the inside, have got it stopped. I may have put him... I don't know if I put him wide, or whether he ended up wide on his own there. Like, I was not quite prepared for the speed I had into that first corner. Yeah, just a few too many times do I see the AI kind of falling over themselves almost to get out of your way. It does spoil some close racing. If it's all working, it's great, because yeah, they will give you space. At times though, it's perhaps a little too much space, and yeah, they will very much dive out of your way, sometimes to the point of them falling off of the road. Well, I think for the next few laps, we're probably just going to settle in for running around on our own for a little bit. So, pit stops have started to take place, and I am, well, I'm currently in fifth. I'm probably going to find myself in the lead. I'm the only car working on this strategy. My tyres have started to go off a little bit. It is quite noticeable, actually. Again, more so on this game than I've seen in previous ones. Your tyres start to wear. Yeah, your car does not become particularly nice to drive. I have been losing a fair bit of time. I had a fairly scruffy lap this run out, lost a bit of gap, and Bottas has found some speed all of a sudden. Little bit worried about that one. While we are circulating kind of on our own, it might get a little bit scary any time now. I thought I'd show you one of the other cool new features as we go for a trip across the grass. That's not going to help matters. Yeah, I really do not have the grip that I had at the start of the race. You can talk to your race engineer, which is really quite helpful. I pressed X button on my steering wheel, and it will bring up the little menu. I can't actually do anything at the moment. Got to not get distracted. Yeah, it'll bring up this little menu, and you can ask him various things. It'll tell you about your opponents, about your teammates, and so on. It's quite a neat, and again, it's another nice little extra of stuff that you can do. You know, you can find out who you're racing against, the gaps the car's behind, and so on at any points that you like. And you can ask him for weather reports. You can change strategy on the fly. Sometimes he'll even ask you, the team have got an alternate strategy. Would you like to swap to it, and so on. And you can have all of these sort of little discussions with the engineer, which is I think really quite cool. We are now coming under increasing pressure from that Williams, who is not quite fancying having a dive up the inside. I'm lost a fair amount of speed in my car as I'm trying to push it more. I think that the tyre wear is now starting to be less than ideal. I think I pushed it very hard early on, and that's not really helped me. It helped me get track position, but in the long run it might not particularly help me, as we don't end up in the grass this time around. Hamilton has already been in the pits and is going to, I have no doubt, get past me. If we press, no, not that button, I will remember eventually, this button, we can have a look at tyre wear. You see you're up to 33% tyre wear. Yeah, okay, it's not 100%, but it's enough when I'm already fighting the car a little bit at the best of times. It's enough to be noticeable. Now I'm hoping when we come round to our pit stop, I've still got another lap. I might come in on at the end of lap 9 rather than waiting any longer, because I think I'm going to want some new tyres. I'm hoping we're going to come out in 5th place. I knew Hamilton was going to come past there, but please get a move on. I don't mind you. No, look, I said please get a move on. Don't mind you coming past. I know I'm not really competing with the Mercedes in terms of a race victory, but please, once you do get past, don't slow me down. Yeah, I think next lap we're going to have to come. Now, I don't want to get to the point where I am ruining my super soft tyres towards the end of their run, so if I pit too early, I run that risk. So I think we will try and go one more lap. I might have left it too long. We will see. If we can come out in around that 6th place mark, I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's whether we've left. We will be quick, so we might be able to get some positions, maybe. Although I think we might struggle unless the AI are all neatly bunched up. Because yeah, we're going to come. Actually, we can tell. Come to think of it, we can tell if we flick through here. So we've got our temperatures. We will apparently rejoin in. I can't actually see. I think it says 8th. At the moment, I've got a glass in the way of my screen where it's saying the position. So we will come back out in. We'll come back out in the top 10. Still an improvement from where we qualified. I think I had a ragged couple of laps that will, at the end of the day, cause me a little bit too much in the way of trouble. All right, now we've got to, when we get a moment, ask the pit or tell the pit engineer we're coming in, because bugger it, the car is getting quite a handful and we're losing. Actually got a little bit better this lap, but we're not Rosberg's. Why is Rosberg on medium? I don't know why Rosberg's on medium tyres, but yeah, we're losing stacks of time, so yeah, it might be too late, and we've not gone any further back in the rejoining queue, so at least that's good. Hopefully it'll be nice and close to cars, so at least we will have the potential for going forward. Fuel wise, again, you can see how well you're doing fuel. We can't really run the car in any rich mixture, but we're not going to run out before the end of the race, so I am okay with that. Now, pit stops. Again, it is an option you can turn on, that I do have turned on. You've got to now manually slow the car down for the pit entry. Of course, time to be made if you get it right, but you don't want to be, and I've not got it right at all, you don't want to be too fast. I was a little too early. Now we wait. Nothing to do here. You can't control the car in the pit lane. You'll bring it into your pit box, change your tyres. We will get going again. Fifth. 2.5 second stop, not bad, McLaren. Sixth, Bottas, who was behind me, is going to come past. Yeah, he had a good laps. Okay, he had good laps while I was still on my crappy tyres. Make sure not to do anything stupid with the pit line. And now we go. We go to the finish. I think we might have a little bit of a lonely drive. I've got Vettel behind us again. He's going to be sick of seeing the back of a McLaren, that much is for sure. Yeah, we may have a lonely drive. I don't know whether I'm going to have the pace quite to catch Verstappen, or even Bottas potentially. We shall see though. We shall see what I can do. Well, I have been throwing everything I can at trying to chase down this Red Bull, and I'm kind of sort of stuck at a couple of seconds gap. I'm closing ever so fractionally per lap. I think this time around again I am closer than ever, but we are being hunted a bit by Vettel. The Ferrari is very much not going away back there. It's about 2 seconds to Verstappen. In fact, we've got it down to 1.5, about 2 seconds back to the Ferrari, and it is just not going anywhere at the moment. I'm stuck very much in this limbo, and yeah, not a huge amount that I am able to do here, unfortunately. So I've just had a rather alarming radio message. We are going to be incredibly close in terms of fuel. He just told me there's 1 lap of fuel remaining, and now I've run out wide. That's not going to help matters. We are quite tight in terms of making it to the finish line, which is not really what I want to hear when I now have a Ferrari right behind me. Going to be very much in DRS range, and I really don't want to have to put my car into lean fuel mode and then try and fight off Vettel, who is very much going to be wanting to find a way past me. So this is not quite ideal for my McLaren. I'm going to make him go the long way around though, if he's willing to. I will, I'll give him space, and he backed out again with the AIs just backing out of it a little bit. I might change that gear there by accident. Yeah, Verstappen just started to pull away. I ran out of skill trying to catch the Red Bull, and now I've got a Ferrari for company. All hope of catching up is going to be pretty much gone. Oh, I braked at the wrong brake point there like a moron. Oh, this is going to be close. The Ferrari's going to have, it's not going to have DRS, but he's going to have slipstream all the way down here. Does he want to go? In fact, he's going to get me before we ever get to the corner. That's not fun. Well, I might be able to get him. Can't get him back. When they do get past there, they're so bloody slow mid-corner that I end up running into the back of them almost. We are going to lose that 8th place unless I can do a last lap miracle. Can we get a last lap miracle on the Ferrari? I'm not sure we quite can. No, we're not going to be able to. Actually locked up the front wheels a little bit. Again, unless we get a mega run out of here. Oh, we got the DRS. I don't know why that didn't... We had the DRS. We almost had him across the line. Not quite, I guess, well, Ferrari power is that little bit better than McLaren. I probably should have sat in the slipstream longer. I thought the finish line was a little bit closer. We lost it on the final lap. an okay result, I think. For me, I think we left it too long on the soft tyres, and that dropped us back, and I just couldn't regain the time. However, I got points. Raikkonen is looking surprisingly happy as we come to the podium. Look at that, there's a smile on Raikkonen's face that he hasn't won a race. What's going on? Hamilton was victorious in this one. Well, it's a Mercedes 1-2, as expected. See, my fastest lap wasn't too bad. That was when I just got out on the tyres. I did a 30.3. It was a very, very quick lap. It's kind of competitive, but I couldn't keep that up throughout the latter stages. In the end, losing out to Vettel by a tenth of a second. That's annoying. But I beat Button, and I got some points for McLaren. So it's not too bad. Did we have any surprise results? Not massively in this one, to be fair. Yeah, no massive surprise results. There we go. That was my first race in the F1 2016 career mode. I have to say, this is a hell of a game. It is, I would say, probably the best of the Codemasters Formula 1 games. You've got a career mode where you can create a character. You've got a nice R&D, nice upgrading system for the various team cars, so you can turn a McLaren into a front-running car, or you can turn a Haas into a front-running car, whatever it might be. You've got, all of the interaction. You've got the podiums, you've got the warm-up laps, and the challenges in the practices and so on to make progression. All of that with a very, very good handling physics. It is a bit tough to learn. I'm certainly nowhere near mastering the the handling model. I may have got one telling off for I jumped a chicane at one point in that race. Yeah, I'm nowhere near mastering the handling model. It'll take me a lot more practice, but it is a good physics model to work with. And everything is all lovely and detailed. I've got this rivalry system. I didn't actually cover this between you and, well, it starts off with your teammate. I assume your rival will become a different person as you go through. You score points based on whichever criteria you beat your rival on. So I'm 10 out of 30. If you get to the 30 points, you win that rivalry. So I've got 10 points against Button. He's got 8 against me. Yeah, it's just a complete package. The weather effects, while we haven't seen them here, are fantastic. When things start getting wet, you really, really do notice. Hey, we got to the top of the bar. You really do notice the lack of grip. I think it's more prominent than any of the other games I've played. It looks gorgeous. All of the tracks are there that you would expect. It is a very much top-notch F1 game. I highly, highly recommend it. I really, really do. So yeah, there's some points for a career mode. That is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.